Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video I'm going to cover the health skill and the stress resistance skill so you can get them leveled up and complete your quest. Two of them require you to have a health skill of level 7 and 12 and the other one requires you to have a level 18 stress resistance. In the video I'm going to cover all the ways that these skills level that I know of and go over how they level and little tips and tricks in between. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So the quest you're required to have the health skill leveled up for is Healthcare Privacy Part 4, which is part of the Healthcare Privacy series. And with Part 5, I'm fairly confident that's what unlocks the new quest, being Private Clinic Athlete and Decontamination Service. But the athlete skill is also requires you to have health level 12. Now this took me ages to get. I only got it around level 63 or 62, I think. So it took quite a while. So understanding how you level up your health skill is going to be helpful, I guess. But when I go into further detail, you're probably going to understand that there's not a lot you can do. But the stress resistance you can. But I'll cover all the aspects so you'll know at least. Moving over to the stress resistance skill. For the stress resistance skill, you need level 18 stress resistance. This is for Skier's Flint quest, and it lets you purchase an M2 tactical sword, which is a trade item. You need a pro kill medallion, a checkpoint key, and one of those military radio thingy-majiggies. It sets you back around 1.4 million at the moment, and you can sell these around the 2 million mark with about 100k in tax. So it's a pretty good trade to do every reset to make a bit of profit. But leaving that aside, let's get into what the actual skills do. So first up, the health skill. As you level it up, it decreases the chance of getting fractures, decreases energy consumption, and decreases dehydration rate. Now this is a very slow skill to level. It doesn't have a massive effect on the energy consumption and dehydration levels that I can tell, but I do notice I don't get as many fractures as I used to. Probably because of the height of jumping from, say, a second floor down to a first floor. It's probably around that, say, maybe level 5 mark. And you seem to just get a lot less fractures jumping from a second floor. I'm not totally sure exactly where the tipping point is. But as you level this up, you will notice it makes life a lot better. Now, the stress resistance skill, this actually levels up quite quickly if you know how to level it. Now, I've never actually really put any emphasis into it. But in my testing today, it levels up super quick if you really want to level it. Now, every level of this decreases your chance of getting the pain shock and also getting tremor oscillation, which is that red circle that goes around the screen. I don't really get much anymore, so it's hard for me to actually show you. At max level, you no longer get that circle oscillation. And back in the day, I don't know if it still has it, but I think the skill was called Rampage at max level. But it never had any actual like elite perk to it. It just said you had like Rampage mode. Now we're going to go into the health skill. With the health skill, there's multiple ways of leveling it. I'm testing it right here. First test, which I know levels it very slowly, but I want to show you how it levels. Effectively just walking whilst overweight. We're currently at 65.3. I only just hit it. And this will take, so I'm 75.8. I've actually got the fastest movement speed possible, as I'm not wearing any armor while walking. And it's going to take around, a minute 45. So I'm going to start the clock. I'll check it around a minute 30 mark and we'll go up after that. But 65.3 is where we're starting, and I'll speed this up so you can see it in real time. In quick time. So this was the actual initial testing. I did all these videos off stream, and so I was doing all this testing, and these are the results. So that's why I'm still learning it as I'm going through these videos. So there you have it. It's around a minute 30 of just walking whilst overweight will get you 1 point in health. Now I will confirm this with it being not overweight, but I'm fairly confident you do need to be overweight for this one to be actually constantly leveling. Now from here I actually tested running. So the way it works is as you run, about a minute worth of running is 0.1 of a skill point. So it's slightly faster than walking, but I actually feel like this is more of a distance covered thing, which is exactly how the strength skill worked. So it's movement while walking or running, covering a particular certain amount of distance is how much you'll actually cover, is how many skill points you'll actually get. And I'm fairly confident it's based purely off distance, not the actual motion of running. So I'm pretty confident we could just say about a minute's worth of sprinting around is 0.1 of a skill point. So with the next one, I test taking damage by self-infliction, being jumping off the top of this, what I call a stripper. The first time I took about 95 damage, I jump off it again and take about 90 damage. And from the second jump, I took 0.1 skill point. I gained 0.1 of the skill point. Taking damage while jumping off stuff does level up your health skill. Unfortunately, this is not a effective method to do it quickly, but just something to take note of. Now, the next test, I actually walk through barbed wire and take damage from doing this. Now, I tested this in both online and offline mode. All these tests were done in offline and online mode. And it was interesting to note that when you take wire damage in offline mode, it doesn't level up at all. However, on online mode, I'm very confident that you actually do level up your health skill very slightly. However, it doesn't actually calculate it and add it to your skill points until the end of the raid. Now, I probably did about a full health worth of damage and maybe went up 0.3 of a skill point online. In offline, absolutely nothing happened because obviously when I finished the raid, there's nothing, you don't keep your skill points in offline mode. Now, you could actually go through the fire on the shoreline map in the gas station. I know people have done this in the past, but I feel like it's going to be kind of in the same ballpark as the health in the barbed wire, as in it's not going to calculate until the end of the raid, and it's still going to be spending more time healing than anything else. Now, for the final method that I'm going to show here, and this is obviously going to be the most effective way of leveling up health and the most efficient. However, it does require you to get shot. So, every 2 to 3 bullets is about 0.1 of a skill point. I had someone shoot me in each leg, each arm, stomach, then chest, and then just kept cycling through that. It did work pretty well. It wouldn't be a way that I would suggest going into a raid with your mate and trying to level it up. But getting shot isn't actually always a bad thing, because if you need to level up your health skill, you can level it up through this method. So just think that when you are getting shot, at least something positive is happening out of it all. And this is the fastest way to level. If you were going to cheat this method, it would be... Because now that the healing skill is not just constantly ticking over, there's an animation, there's time lost from the actual animation of taking out the med case. This is more of information on how the skill levels, guys. I don't think there's any real way you can cheese level the health skill that I know of anymore. It's a good thing. But just take note that these are the methods for leveling up the health skill. And now we're going to move into the stress resistance, and it's going to be a lot more pleasurable experience for you guys here. So moving over to the stress resistance skill, I'll show you the online raid because it'll be more enjoyable to watch. So what happens here is the first thing I do is break my legs. The way I do this is purely just run to the top of a building or top of the structure, the scaffolding, jump off the top and break one leg. I test out running around for a full bar of stamina, and with my strength and endurance level being, I think, strength level 10 and endurance is around level 22, a full amount of sprinting, which is around 35 seconds, we're about to see, is around 4.5 skill points in stress resistance. Now, this is with one broken leg. The good news is, after that 30 seconds of running, you can heal up, and you can just do it again. Pop the morph. I just used one morphine and kept running around in circles doing this. The next option you have, and I'll show you this very shortly, is if you actually have both your legs broken, you can do this with double the speed. So, 2 broken legs, running around, full bar of stamina. You will level up around, for me, it was with my level of strength and endurance, it would level up about 8 skill points. Now, that's pretty quick when you think about the main grind for you guys is going to be between level 10 and 18. So leveling up to that point, it's around a level every 10 minutes, I worked out. And I'll show you and I'll explain to you how you could do it in a level every 10 minutes. But if you need to level up from, say, 10 to 18, you could do it in an hour and 20 minutes, which is pretty cool. You should be leveling this up anyway when you're running around the game anyway, and you probably already have slightly higher level, but it's good to know that if you do need to get those extra couple of skill points to get to level 18 that a little bit quicker, you've got that option. And obviously there's an importance behind leveling up the stress resistance to level 18 to get that M2 sword that I'm swinging around right now. So now this is a test for the 2 broken legs. As you can see, I'm on 77.6 for stress resistance, and I am going to start running. I actually know it's a player scav, and he starts chasing me around, but pretty much with this is, it's a really cool idea to take note on how to level up your skills. Being able to level them up quickly early on can be helpful. I know a lot of people used to be really obsessed with the strength skill. I'm glad people just don't obsess about it anymore. The strength skill gives you a lot of speed advantages, being able to run faster and stuff like that. So I know there's a bit of importance behind it, but you got to understand that Battlestate Games' intention is to eventually have it so some of these skills you'll either never get to max level, or it will take you a couple of years, you know, like, and not everyone's going to have every skill to max. Like, I might have assault rifles at max, but someone else will get, you know, the sniper skill to max or something like that. So there's cool little things that Battlestate Games is trying to do with their perks. And as you see here, we finished up with 86.6, which is about 9 skill points I got from going through a max bar of stamina. Now the next one is jumping. If you've got a broken leg or 2 broken legs, every single jump you do, it's about 0.4 of a skill point. So with that, it's a pretty good way to level up if you just stand around doing nothing and you want to just level up your stretch resistance that little bit extra. And as you can see, there's a common trend of you can actually level it up quite quickly by doing these methods. Now I just want to point out here, it makes no difference at all if it's a broken leg or a blacked out leg. I tested both of them, exact same result. And I want to confirm that I did these tests on both offline and online modes to get the same results as well. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is if you really want to power level your stress resistance a little bit. I popped an adrenaline, an SJ1, and an SJ6 after I had 2 blacked out legs, and I already popped the morphine. So the morphine went out first. Make sure you do it in the right order, so being in the SJ6 and the SJ1, because the SJ6 has a 4-minute cooldown or timer that it's active for. The SJ1's a 3-minute, and then the adrenaline is only like 30 seconds. If you're going to do this, you need to have a golden star with you as well, because you're going to run out of hydration and energy, which will actually kill you. But if you do sprint around like this, I think I was able to run around for about a minute, and I'll have to confirm with the video, but it's around 12 to 14 skill points per sprint around, so it was leveling really quickly. And if you're doing this method with the golden stars, you heal up probably every minute. You'd probably need to heal up, so I wouldn't even worry about the adrenaline side of things. You could probably level up every 7 to 10 minutes from doing this method. Now if you went to a shoreline raid and just did this, you'd probably go from 10 to 18 in about an hour and 20, like I was talking before. There's going to be a little bit of stuffing around in that. Just so you guys know, if you are doing a level a skill offline, you're going to level a skill in a raid, just know that if you get disconnected or you time out, as in like you go MIA because the raid finished, you won't get any skill points. It'll revert back to the start. So I'm not really big on cheesing the leveling of skills, but just showing other methods. If you're interested, go for it. It's not my kind of thing, but it's good fun to just know the math behind it. Watching another video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future content. I stream on Twitch 6 days a week. Go down the link below. Give me a follow over there. If you've got any Tarkov questions, streaming questions, feel free to hit me up on my live stream or on the comments down below. On Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a 1 to 40, level 1 to 40 in labs. No other map. Just going to go labs the whole time. It should take me somewhere between 30 and 40 hours. I don't know exactly yet. I haven't put much math into it. I'm just kind of winging it. I'd get it quicker than I should. But let's see how we go. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a pretty smooth process there. So definitely go check out my live stream for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Besides that, guys, to finish up, I'll see you next time. 1. What comes after 1? 2. What comes after 2? 3. What comes after 3? 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4.